This is Win News Western Victoria.
Tonight, claims of 8-hour waits for emergency procedures at Ballarat-based hospital. Ballarat police launch a crackdown after a high-speed crash in a residential street. And more than 5,000 flock to the first Sovereign Hill Music Festival. Good evening. Also tonight, a dead whale to remain for days on a beach near the 12 Apostles. There are claims tonight more than 1,000 people have been forced to lie waiting more than 8 hours for treatment in Ballarat-based hospital's emergency department. The state opposition says the figures come from a state government report, but Ballarat Health Services claims they don't match hospital records.
By its own admission, Ballarat Health Services is under immense pressure as the city struggles to attract GPs and the winter flu outbreak sees hundreds seeking emergency treatment. According to Shadow Health Minister Helen Shardy, the Victorian government's Your Hospitals report shows more than 1,000 Ballarat patients have been forced to wait more than 8 hours at a time for emergency treatment in the past 6 months.
Yes, I think the figures do indicate that there's still a crisis in our health system.
But Ballarat Health Services says there is no crisis and the numbers don't match the facility's own records.
But again, I'd welcome her figures so that I could actually have a look at them and try and reconcile them.
If the hospital is disputing the numbers, then that's a fight they need to have with the Department of Human Services.
Ms Shardy says the report also shows almost 1,600 patients waited more than 4 hours for emergency treatment. And while Andrew Rowe concedes the health service has been under unprecedented demand, he insists it's well equipped.
Are you being funded or resourced enough from the state government?
Yes, we are.
Well, if they say their funding is sufficient, perhaps we should have seen a better improvement in the results for the community of Ballarat.
The Victorian government says the hospital is performing above its benchmarks and continues to improve. Laura Turner, Win News.
The federal government's $31 million contribution to the Goldfields super pipe will only ease water price rises by 1% a year. Central Highlands Water received almost 1,000 responses to its draft water plan, most supporting a 55% price rise over 5 years. But the authority is still waiting to see the fine print on the federal government's contribution, calling on Liberal candidate Samantha McIntosh to produce the details.
We'd like her to lobby the Commonwealth Government and the National Water Commission to see the financial deed now produced. What we'd like to see is the detail of the offer. It's not been forthcoming.
The draft has been sent to the Essential Services Commission for approval. Ballarat police will launch a crackdown on the city's motorists after a P-plater almost split his car in half on the weekend. The Ford slammed into a tree after skidding down a residential street.
It was just after 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon when police say a 19-year-old motorist sped down Clayton Street in Canadian, clipping one tree before skidding into another. Onlookers were amazed he escaped with minor injuries. Police believe if anyone else had have been in the car, they would have been killed.
Yes, he's very lucky to survive an accident like that. Looking at the wreckage, you know, I'll be buying a Tesla ticket, that's for sure.
It's prompted a new crackdown on speeding motorists, who police say just don't realise the dangers.
Further education is probably needed, but it's the same old thing. It's probably never going to happen to me.
A 19-year-old girl was also killed when she lost control of her car on the Avenue of Honour in Bacchus Marsh. Her death is just one of many in a tragic weekend on Victorian roads.
When you look at the news, it's been throughout Melbourne over the last couple of days, and you think to yourself, you know, that could have been me, that could have been you, could have been any of your friends. That's something that you just don't want to face.
Laura Turner, Win News.
A sperm whale found dead on a beach near the 12 Apostles on Friday morning will remain there for at least the next few days. The Department of Sustainability and Environment is waiting to hear whether Museum Victoria is interested in acquiring